Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. My name is Joel, and this is A Stable Life. Well, guys, today's a wild one. Start, you can tell, it's sunny over there, cloudy over there, dark over there. It's gonna be a windy day. The temperature is gonna be going down through the course of the day, and rain is gonna be moving in, but for the most part, we should be good to get our work done for the day. If you could tell all the way down there, we got a bit of a problem. We'll talk about that later on after we got horses fed. Speaking of, all the ponies are here. Looks like they're ready to get some food. Everyone's waiting. And the herd down in the big field is making their way back on up to the barn. All good things to see. Oh, okay. I saw a note over here and I was just like, what on earth? Please don't forget to turn off the water. Thank you. There we go. For a second, I was thinking someone graffitied the barn, but no. It's okay, we're good. Leia's rolling over in the hay. We actually have all of our tools, batteries getting charged. I'm pretty excited. Gonna be using the new Milwaukee battery today, so that's exciting. I don't have any of the drills or anything like that, so I'm gonna be using my old drill to take care of everything, but, well, like I said, we'll talk more about that after we get horse feeding taken care of. So let's get started. Guys, we have grain in all the stalls. We're just gonna go out and feed the donkeys and get Poncho left in. So let me tell you, I'm off to a great start this morning. Right when I got out of my car this morning, I started walking, and I was walking just like this. And right on my arm here, bird poop landed right on my arm. Splashed on my shirt and everything. I'm not gonna lie, guys, that's a first for me. I've never been pooped on by a bird before. Just literally like this. I was standing right out. I'm working on it, Buster. I need to tell my bird poop story. It's standing out in broad daylight, and when one landed on my arm, I was so surprised. I went and cleaned up pretty quickly because, you know, there's a lot of diseases that are in bird poop, so didn't want that being a problem. So that's how my morning started off so far. Way I see it, it's only up from here. Right, Buster? Right, Rocky? Howdy, gentlemen. Good morning. Good morning. Grain for one donkey. Grain for two donkeys. There you go, boys. You know, you'd think Rocky is the bully of Buster, but when the both of them are just together, they really just give it back and forth to each other. It's an equal bullied relationship. Way I see it, they're brothers. Rocky and Buster are fed for the morning. We'll open up that window, of course, and then we're gonna let Poncho in. There you go, boys. Hey, Poncho. There you go, buddy. Well, someone is excited. I feel like the horses are probably gonna be a little intense today. The wind is really, really something. Look at the trees. When it's this windy, we're supposed to get about an inch of rain tonight, and the horses can feel that there's a storm coming. They get a little antsy. We just gotta keep ourselves alert to what's going on, make sure we don't get hurt by any of the horses, just trying to get in the barn. Morning, Roni. Morning, William. Morning, Jack. Morning, Champ. Morning, Rebel. Morning, Casino. Morning, George. Like this beautiful horse that's about to run me over is named Suede. And this horse is named Spitfire. And that's Skywalker. This is Sriracha. That's Danny. That's Declan. That's Archer. That's Obi. That's Gavin. That would be Tucker. No, that would be Weather. That would be Tucker. That's Argento. That's Samson. And then lastly, we've got Duke and Docs. Let's see how they did. I can already tell you, Tucker went into Docs' stall. Interestingly, way back when Tucker first arrived at our stable, Docs' stall was his stall. So it's kind of understandable that he goes into this stall. Sadly, it does throw Docs for quite the loop. And Duke, as you guys saw in our most recent video, currently doesn't like his stall. So Duke went past his stall to go to another stall. Looks like Duke kicked Gavin out, so now we're gonna grab Docs and throw, it's okay, Docs. And then we're gonna go grab, oh no, never mind. Gavin is, okay, hey Duke. There's another horse in, who is that? I couldn't tell who that is. There's a horse in Gavin's stall eating his grain. There's all kinds of mess ups today, guys. Okay, now let's see here. Suede, what are you doing? Come on. Oh, Gavin. Okay. Now we got two horses that just left their stalls. What'd I tell you? Today was gonna be an adventure. Gavin into his stall. All right, we're rolling. We're just rolling with this. Let's see here. Looks like Archer and Declan are just leaving. Now, granted, that's the pasture they get turned into, but they're not supposed to be in it yet. And you can tell that they know that. We'll let Declan go by first. Archer will follow because Archer doesn't want to be alone. Go on, Archer. I still have to go out and close Tucker's door, but I'm hoping Tucker's food will hold Tucker while we're working with the rest of the horses. Looks like everybody else is where they need to be except for Archer, Declan, and Tucker. Go ahead, Archer. Declan is in his stall. Go ahead, Archer. Come on. Archer's in his stall. Tucker. Tucker, I'm sorry. I have to take hay out today, buddy. Come with me. Come with me. Come with me. Down in here. He finished his grain quick. There we go. Woo! We got them all in, guys. Good job. Well, guys, what I tell you, it could only get better from here. The veggie boys got me a breakfast sandwich. I knew today would just get better. Figured I'd eat my breakfast with Tucker. I should say my brunch, because I already had breakfast. But Saturdays are a tricky day, so it's nice when you get food here and there. Works out good. Right, Tucker? All right, now that brunch is done, yesterday while we were working on cleaning out the pastures, I noticed that the middle field was certainly empty. They're calling for a lot of rain tonight, so we're not gonna be putting out one of the large square bales. We're gonna put out one of the regular. And the big field doesn't need any hay, so we're only putting out one bale. Woo! Awesome. We're out here in the middle field and found a bottle of mane and tail detangler. Kind of random, but on another note, look how good the middle field looks. Beautifully manicured. I mean, that looks pretty sweet too. And there's our baler twine. Gotta love it, man. That's so incredible. So we'll take this back with us, grab what's left of our baler twine. Put in the new bale, and then just like that, we can go right back to letting out the horses so that they could go and enjoy that beautiful pasture. Where were you out exploring, huh? Sup, pup? Time to fill these pastures. That is so much better. I'll tell you what, guys, it was actually pretty interesting. Weather is one of two horses that got a drink at the water trough. Everyone else just galloped down the hill and ran immediately out to the pasture. And they were all banging at their doors. They did not want to be in at all. I don't know if that has something to do with the weather coming in or if they just really enjoy being out in the pasture. Probably a mixture of both. On to the reason why a few of you probably clicked on the video and something that, well, a lot of you guys said was going to happen, and it did. Just not maybe in the way that you thought it would. So what we're gonna need first is the bucket, the tractor, and this is gonna look really funny, but I'm gonna be hooking up the HD 1500 wagon to the tractor. I need all the carrying capabilities I can because we're gonna try to salvage what wood we can from that. Well, it definitely looks funny, but now I got a place to put all the tools. So let's load up. Alrighty guys, let's talk about how this happened and what we're gonna do to fix it. To start, as you can see, it has completely sheared off of 2 of the 4 posts. This post has sheared off at the bottom, and this post has sheared off at the bottom. I think, actually, I'm not too certain. But it actually goes back to the video where I was cleaning the pastures. So, and of course, we're gonna be careful around this because this is not structurally sound. We don't want to hurt ourselves on this, of course. While I was cleaning out this field, I noticed that this post right here had developed a fracture, and you can actually see the fracture where it went through the post. Simply put, this was a design failure. Posts are too skinny, and too tall for this structure to survive. We had some crazy winds through the winter, and this didn't fall down at all once during the entire winter. In fact, that fracture had only developed recently in the spring. I'm not exactly certain, but I think probably one of the horses bumped it, which is what caused the fracture. But when I noticed the fracture, I picked up the round bell feeder underneath and took it out and then cleaned out underneath. As you can see, this whole area has been scraped clean. With 2 posts fractured, this was no longer safe for horses to be underneath it eating. And then I was grading the pasture so that way it doesn't have all these creases and lines from the bucket. And the front right-hand side of my bucket, I'm not exactly used to actually how wide this bucket is yet. As you can see, it hit right here and bumped the post, and it completely threw the entire structure down. Knocked that back post right off its support structure, knocked this post right off of its support structure, and knocked these guys over with it. It was pretty crazy when it happened. Interestingly enough, I actually knocked it down. It didn't fall down on its own. And of course, there were no horses around when it happened. After it happened, I was actually kind of relieved about it and happy that it happened this way. Because of course, we don't want any horses hurt on our stable. We were planning on taking this structure down this year. Not necessarily this soon, but this was one of the projects we had this year, is we were gonna build another structure like that over here. We really like the way that structure is. We've got a few refinements that we're gonna make to it for when we're building it here, but that structure is a tank. That thing is solid. That is here to stay. So we're gonna build another one just like that. What we're gonna do is we're gonna salvage what we can from this. The roof is completely a loss. I mean, this roof was bad when we put it on. The tarp I'm gonna keep, and the 4x4s, we're gonna cut the bad pieces off because we can always use this to fix fence in different places, and the top plates are both good. So we're gonna try to salvage that, and that's why we have all the tools. The bad wood will burn, the good wood will keep. The tin we are going to put with our scrap metal, and that is gonna get scrapped. We're not gonna be reusing this tin anymore. Let's get started deconstructing revision 1.0 here. And while we're doing this, of course, we wanna make sure we're safe. So I wanna send a special thank you to you guys that got us the PPE. I'm wearing our cut-resistant gloves and sleeves. Top of working with sharp wood and splinters, I'm working with old tin. Every single time we work with sheet metal or tin, one of us slices our fingers, slices our wrists, slices our bodies open. The stuff is sharp and you need to be careful with it. This is why I'm wearing this. And since we're gonna be working in a dusty environment, it's windy today, we're gonna be using these safety glasses that work and go over top of my glasses. So the goal today is to get the project cleaned up, make this area look nice, and for me not to have any injuries, cuts, or abrasions. I think we can do it, especially with the day we've been having. I think this is all pertinent. 3/4, all right. We've got the bucket bracing this side. I'm gonna take this post off first, and then we will slowly lower it piece by piece here. We're trying to take it down. I mean, I could knock the whole thing over with the tractor if I wanted to, but we're trying to save as much of the wood as we can. Lumber isn't as cheap as it used to be, so we wanna make sure that we're reusing what we can. Well, I got one bolt out and my little battery's already dead. Just in case you all know, this is my drill. It's actually my personal drill. All the DeWalt stuff that I use is actually my dad's. So I'm borrowing his DeWalt XR battery for today. Figured I was gonna need it. Whew. These we could definitely reuse. They are in great condition, so we'll keep these. We've got it in a new position, and good news, this post is completely fine, but my drill doesn't have enough torque to take these out. Oh, I'm gonna need an extension. Okay, there we go. Okay, the drill should be able to get that. Now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna get on the other side. We'll use the drill, hopefully should be able to take that out. All right, so this side is completely taken off. Now we're gonna lower the bucket slowly, and we've got a full post. And then you can see this side, I don't even know where to start on that. I'm gonna do some zipping. I'll show you guys what we got once we've got it all deconstructed. Top plate looks actually okay, so that's good to see. So this tarp has so many holes in it, not even worth keeping. This is just gonna go too. I'm just gonna fold it up nice so it's easy for carrying. There you go. You guys are now looking at what's left of the revision 1.0. In case you guys are curious what's left of the run-in shed that's salvageable, that would be these two top plates and that one post. This post looks good on this side, but it has a full fracture running through it. You can cut it, but anything that we would need this post to be used for, it would need to be a little bit longer, so that's scrap. So all that's left now is to knock these two guys out of the ground, and then we load everything up. They came out of the ground like nothing. And this one, I actually managed to get the concrete out with it as well. So all I gotta do now is gather all the wood and get this out of here and then come back through with the tractor bucket to scratch the ground with the bucket to re-smooth this out. Which, depending on how the afternoon goes, we might be spreading some manure, so that'll be easy. I'll have the loader down here anyway. Let's load everything up. Okay, it's completely deconstructed. Just gotta flatten out the ground and then you'd never even know there was something here. Everything's on the wagon. All right, well that'll wrap things up for the morning. I'm happy to report I got no scratches, no cuts, nothing flew in my eye. There were some parts where it was a little dangerous, and I could tell that I was touching some really sharp stuff, especially when I was cutting the boards off of the tin with the Sawzall. Nothing bad happened, so we're happy to say it. Good deal. Megan and I had lunch together without the camera. You gotta do that once in a while. Oh, look at this. Good stuff. So next up, I'm thinking, come on Scoots, we're gonna go spread some manure, but we're gonna take a look at the manure spreader. I noticed yesterday while I was spreading that it seems like I can't really load the spreader that full because the chains will slip a little bit. So I'm thinking what I need to do is tension the chain on it, so that way we're good to go. I do realize that me doing this means that I probably will only have enough time to do 1 or 2 loads of manure, but that's still 1 or 2 loads of manure that's spread, especially before we get all this rain. I wonder if the tensioners would be on the front. Well, there's the pulley, and that's connected to a bracket that looks like that's connected to this. So it appears that I loosen this bolt and this bolt, tighten this bolt to where I need it to be, and then tighten that and tighten that. But I'm not gonna do that without checking with Daniel first, see what he thinks. Not my manure spreader, so I don't have the operator's manual. Normally that's what I would do in this situation. That's what I always do. When in doubt, go to the operator's manual, see what it says, and you know you're doing it right. Okay, good news, guys. Let's let Leia get into position. Go ahead, Scoots. Looks like I was completely right when it comes to talking about tightening that up. So I'm gonna drive over to where my car's at because that's where all my tools are. And then he recommended do about 5 turns on the tensioner, tighten it back up, do a load, see how it feels. If it feels good, do another 5 turns, then you're set. And if it needs to get tightened more, tighten it more. So that's how we're gonna do it. Okay, so I've got my wrench and my socket. Looks like it's an 11/16. We'll head on out and see what we got. Well, guys, that definitely seemed to do it. All I did was 5 turns and it's working great. I didn't load it up max, but this was slipping yesterday, a load like this, and it's doing great with this. So that is awesome. I am so happy to see it. And apparently it's Earth Day today. I was not aware that it's Earth Day. So that's kind of funny, isn't it? Oh yeah, baby. Best fertilizer there is.
We just put our last load on the spreader for today. It's 3:16 p.m. and I still gotta feed horses this afternoon. So that's how the pile looks for now. That's our last load of the spreader. Let's go ahead and get this spread, and then we gotta get all the equipment parked, and then we can get started feeding horses. Definitely happy that we're spreading our last load, because it looks like that rain is on its way. I wonder if I'm going to be able to get my cabless tractor home before that rain makes it here. Well, you guys will definitely be the first to find out, that's for sure. Just a beautiful blanket. Well, I've got good news. I managed to make it back with all the equipment, get everything parked, and get inside the barn before it started raining. The bad news is that the rain's coming, and with the rain, it's bringing a cold front. Such a cold front that I actually have to put sheets on the horses. Oh, I know. How crazy is that? All right, guys, good news. My wife is here and helping me feed, so things should go a little bit smoother. And it looks like the front has just arrived. And I have been getting texts from a lot of different people telling me that apparently this storm is going to be quite a doozy. Always fun to ride out a storm inside the barn. Let's see what happens. I've got the grain for the donkeys and Tucker right here. Let's go ahead and get the donkeys where they need to be. Get them hunkered down. Megan's putting the grain in Casino's stall as we speak. And then we can let in all the horses. I would love to go in and put the grain in for you guys, but we're going to do the window method today in the effort of saving time. There you go, boys. Close this window. There's Tucker. Open up this gate. Boy, did you think morning feeding was interesting? It's always interesting when you have a major storm coming. Megan knows what she's doing. It's like when you have Gavin here. You got help that knows what they're doing. Hi, Buster. Hi, Buster. Go ahead and close that gate, darling. Can you get them, darling? Duke went into Jack's stall. Hey, Duke. Out you go. Oh, we're being extra today, huh? Nope. Come on. Once I get him in the stall, you can let him in. Okay, good. Okay, Megan's letting in the big field right now. Well, as you guys can see, Roni's a little mean. He was doing that for absolutely no reason. Obviously, in his mind, it was a reason. He thought Doc's was too close to him, but no reason.
Thank you. It's okay.
Well, with Megan and I working together, we have all of the horses all blanketed. They all have sheets on. I can feel the temperature has dropped. It feels like it's about, I'm gonna say 8 to 10 degrees cooler already, but no crazy thunderstorms, just a peaceful rain. Megan is putting the final touches on George right now. And this is about all it's doing. Nothing crazy. So, and all the horses wanna go out. So, we're gonna go ahead and turn out. Wait, hold it. Don't let any horse out, stop. I'm sorry, I gotta get Poncho out first, I forgot. I'm confusing my wife, whoopsies. And with that, all the horses are turned out. There's a nice peaceful rain falling on the roof. They're all eating in the pastures. Megan and I are tired. They're ready to go home and get some dinner. Sound like a plan? All right. And it's gonna be on that awesome note that this is where we're drawing an end to the video for today. If you haven't, don't forget to hit that like button and make sure that you're subscribed.
For the question of the day, did the structure last longer than you think it would or not?
Good question, hon. Thanks for watching.
And as always,
We'll see you in the next one.